I'm just watching. What's up, Lauren? Say you'll be back. Okay. All right. What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing? Sunday. This is Wolfgang Amadeus set in the West. Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm just chilling. I thought it was gonna be like a quiet weekend. I really thought it was gonna be a pretty quiet weekend, like nobody's doing anything because pretty much to be honest, the YouTube streets is finito. It's nothing going on. Nothing going on the YouTube streets. So I said, okay, ain't nothing going on. Ain't got nothing for me to say. What's up, baby girl? Hey, Patricia Blair. Appreciate you for coming in. Was that what was this? I'm sitting there looking at. So what's up, my Kia? People over here still commenting about the Lloyd. I did a short about Lloyd and him fall. Well, he fell on stage. I said pray for Lloyd. I didn't say make fun of him. What's up, Netta? Netta 1388. Yeah. I was like, Lloyd is still. I still like Lloyd. Lloyd is cool. That little joint he did with Nip back in the day, that was cool. Uh, Feeling myself, that was dope. And he fell on stage. What's up, Real Jack? What's up, Coley? Yeah. So people are still in the comments talking about this Lloyd situation. Anyway, let's get down to business because I'm not gonna be here too long. I didn't want to be here too long. I'm just like, let me get some sun. I've been pretty much indoors, so I need to get some sun. And then I said, let me browse, let me peruse the internet streets. And then I saw, well, first off, I really didn't see too much worth talking about, to be honest. Yeah, y'all hit the like button, please, please, please. I really didn't see too much worth talking about online. Even I think it was in the middle of the week, towards the end of the week, I saw a story that came up about Brian McKnight, and I don't give Brian McKnight too much. I don't give him too much attention, to be honest, because I'm a put more into the receipts and narratives because I got a whole thing about him. But Brian McKnight, do I ever whoop your ass in a job? Do you ever flinch up, reaching out from? I'll hit you. Nah, let me shut up. I don't get I don't I'm gonna say this about Brian McKnight because I ain't really got a whole lot. Um Man, what's up with you? You got the whole situation with your family. That needs to be offline. That needs to be off the internet. But he did a sit down interview with someone named Antoine Donaldson. Now his name is Anton Daniels. But Joe Button and them decided, oh damn, wait, hold on. I'm losing service. Okay. In the jungle, so I guess I'll lose service. Yeah. Um, where was I at? I was saying Antoine Donaldson, Anton Daniels, and him doing that interview with Brian McKnight. First off, let's do a little backstory. Brian McKnight, like I said, all the family stuff shouldn't be on the internet, bro. But that's just me. But I do have an issue with you doing all this what they call it, vexatious litigation, whatever they call it, doing all these lawsuits against people in different states. It's crazy. Got to look into the legalities of that, but that's a whole nother topic. Um, so Brian McKnight has an issue, has a harassment, not harassment. What did he call it? Defamation suit against his ex. He goes on to speak on it on a few different platforms, and he went on over to um, Anton Daniels, or as a Antoine Donaldson. That was funny. But Anton Daniels is someone I got wind of Anton when he was pretty much like, I guess he is like, is he MAGA? Is he red pill? But he just came up in my algorithm one day, and I followed him for a quick second, and then when I saw what he was on, and then Jag pointed out he talked to freaking he pointed out that he talked to Charleston White too. I said, what? Like, so yeah, no sub from me, because I don't really like a lot of his talking points or anything like that, because what happens when you subscribe to one channel and then you start getting this poison. It seems like it's like poison. I'm not talking mess about Anton Daniels. I'm just talking about the type of content he's on. I think he's MAGA. I think he's one of those types. And then he uh, black talks about a lot of like black family issues. He's more of a conservative. Jag is in the building. What's up, Jag?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Maybe I should. I'm over here. I'm in the sticks, and I don't want to lose service. So maybe let me not go over. Why you got Ja Rule? Let me just go back to my original spot,
My
because I
bad.
think I'm losing. That's funny. That's funny. I think I'm losing service. I'll just sit back on my Forrest Gump, sitting on the bench. But let me finish making this point. I see more people falling into the building. Appreciate y'all. Mickey Davis, what's up? Uh,
Please,
and
everybody,
Yam
share this
J.
live and let people
It,
know we're here.
yeah, share, like, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Um, so yeah, what I was saying was about Anton Daniels and how I got wind of Anton Daniels.
Mm,
I think he's like conservative, family oriented. I think he made a video one time about stuff that was going on in Chicago, stuff like all kind of stuff. Like, he focuses on the stuff that black people do, and he's like one of these, y'all shouldn't be doing this, and he's been with his wife for X amount of years, whatever. Okay, that's cool. Um, so like I said, I subscribed to him for a minute, and then after a while, I was like, okay, I can't. Sat there and saw a few of his panels. And nothing against him though, very entertaining, but I can get bored of that real easily. So I just
you
like
think he's
unsubscribe.
very entertaining?
No. I'm talking about his viewpoint, because like he turned me off when, like, see, the thing is he's one of these types, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We can't negate the fact that when it comes to like black dysfunction, you know, yeah, you could put it on individual black people and do, yeah, individual black people need to be doing, as a collective, we need to be doing better. But if that's all you're pointing out, see, like I said, when I say entertaining, I'm just talking about how he was pointing stuff out. I don't think he was really talking about solutions, kind of, but not really. That's why I was like, is he MAGA? So it's entertaining to me, because I'm like, okay, where's his viewpoint? What solutions did he have? I realized he really didn't have solutions. He has one of those channels that racists could use to say, see, look, this black guy is saying blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, they it's like one of those. Um, so I just unsubscribe. But I'm saying it's very interesting, and I'm peeping a little bit about the background, where he come, what he's on, what he's about. And I didn't want to talk about Brian issue. I just said, if he's giving Brian McKnight a platform to talk his talk, that's cool. But you are conservative, and you're not giving, um, you're not giving a real. You're giving an interview, but you're not giving no pushback. So, like for one, the interview talked about marriage out of wedlock or having children out of wedlock. I'm sorry, but he didn't give his subject like you supposed to grow up in a church. You know, it's supposed to be marriage before carriage. Uh, you decided to have unprotected sex with a woman, which is, he grew up, well, the subject of the person is supposed to grow up 7 Day Adventist in the church, blah, blah, blah.
You know,
Talked about the background about
I'm
that.
7 Day Adventist. I grew up 7 Day
Yeah,
Adventist.
I know. So, I mean, and that was very interesting because I didn't know too much about that side of it where he said, his
You want to know what
mom
I found really interesting?
was that.
Well, there was a whole conversation about being forced to get married. Otherwise, his
Hmm.
mother would be forced to step down from the music ministry department at church. And
Right.
this was back in the 90s. So it's like that's kind of interesting because my father was first elder of a Seventh
Mm.
Day Adventist church.
Hmm.
My sister had a child out of wedlock, and so did I. And
Mm.
my dad never had to step down.
Oh, so that's cap. What he was saying is cap.
See, that's
Like
that's
that
what I'm
that's
saying.
not what
My
happens.
my dad wasn't the music minister at the church. He was the first elder.
Okay.
Now, when my elder sister got pregnant and she had a child at 19, she did go away to Florence Crittenton's home for unwed mothers. She wasn't showing up to church every week, showing off her belly. I wasn't going to
Okay.
church every week, showing off my pregnant belly, but people at church knew I was pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Hmm.
this is a very,
Hmm.
very, 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 very you know number one, it really all depends on the church. I'm not going to say that there aren't some churches that have you know made that viewpoint that, oh well, it's probably best for you to stand down and to take care of your family, because that tends to be the situation. You're spending too much time at church, you're not focusing on your family, so you need to
Hmm.
step down so that you can focus on your family, because clearly your family has lost its way, whoop de woo, that kind of thing. It is not an automatic immediate thing. And like I said, my father was an elder for the Seventh Day Adventist Church my entire life. So yeah, there's dubs. They putting dubs on a lot, especially and that's why you have to be careful when you start saying things like this. And what I'm really surprised about is that more people, if people are going to be talking about this, it should be people from the Seventh Day Adventist Church that should have something to say, because there is a certain depiction that's not, very, very, very accurate. Now, if you go to Oakwood College, which was a Seventh Day Adventist college, now Seventh Day Adventist University,
Hmm.
and you, you got yourself in the family way, yeah, they would
Hmm.
probably ask you to leave the school, but there's not, you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of things that I don't know, I'm not really jiving with, but you were just sitting there saying that, and furthermore, let's just be clear. For Antoine Donaldson to be the interviewer, and for him not to just go back and check these things before you push that out, it goes to let you know, like, no disrespect, there was a bias there. And I'm just going to be very fair. I had a pretty controversial interview that I did earlier this year, Demore Hadley, Defending Your Freedom. um
Hmm.
and there were some people who I'm sorry, I don't know who this is, but we'll
Yeah.
we'll just let that
That.
go.
Bye.
Um,
Weirdo.
so anyway, what I do find very interesting, isn't that funny how quickly
They
they
just
show
pop. They
up?
Pop up. They know how
No,
to pop
I
up.
find it funny. I find it funny how quickly they show up. The question is have you subscribed? Have you liked? Have you shared this video? Um, they show up real
Good
fast.
question. Yeah, but
But
continue.
anyway, like I was saying, people said, oh, well, I won't say people said, there were some people that said, Jag didn't give any pushback. Jag didn't ask any hard questions. Jag didn't. That's not true. I did ask hard questions. I asked about the state of the relationship between her and her mom. What was that like? I asked about when things fell out. But see, the thing is, the difference between the interview that we did with Demore and what just happened on the Daniels platform that I find very interesting is that you did a lot of taking word at face value, but you didn't show no receipts.
No receipts.
See, and that's the thing. That's the problem that I think most people had with our interview with Demore. They were upset that we had so much information there that verified everything that she was saying. You want to know what would have been really clutch? What would have been really awesome? There was, I believe, a specific moment when it came to justifying the name change and saying
Hmm.
that he was on his way out of the country to do a gig and he was apprehended by the law over um child
Child
support
support
payments.
that didn't belong to him. That wasn't about him.
Yeah,
Right.
and said that the reason why he was arrested was because he and his son had the same name.
Right.
Number one, they you don't have the same name. You were senior, he was junior. You're nowhere near the same age bracket, and more importantly than that, um if he had been arrested, especially going overseas, being who he was with the profile that he was, how did that never make it to the news? How
That
did no one
see.
ever
Hold
find out
on.
about that?
So hold on. Back up because that's where I was going with this interview. Because well, first off, I didn't know that about the 7A Adventist. It's not like the Jehovah Witness because I wasn't raised Jehovah Witness, but I used to have to go to the Kingdom Hall, that good stuff. Uh, you know, so it's not as strict. I guess you're saying he was that was Cap,
I'm not
and
saying that
then
it's not strict.
no, no, no.
I'm saying
I'm
for someone who was in college and for someone who, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. The one
no,
thing
no,
that
no.
he
It's
did,
strict, but what I'm saying is like back to what you're saying even about the child support situation. Even with what I was gonna
these
say,
weren't
like the
teenagers who were going to the same church, who this
this was a
would be
college,
paraded around. This was a college far away from where whatever church his mother was playing at. You know what I mean? It
right?
they asked you to step down when you got children there, when this stuff is happening there in the congregation, not at
Because I
Oakwood.
I've seen that at the Kingdom Hall where yeah, teenagers having kids. Yeah, you get shunned. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't as bad, but I've seen that. So yeah, no, but look, back to what you were saying, and back to where I was going with
No, but
this.
it was just it
He
was set up very hot button because the way it was set up, it was made it, oh my goodness, this one bad choice that I made was going to inconvenience my entire family and whoopty whoopty woo and
he
yada yada
he's not
yada.
he's not number one. Let me just say this: he's not holding himself accountable for one about his involvement. To me, I mean, it's good that he got the platform to talk and all that or whatever, but he didn't hold himself accountable for nothing. And then number two, all the family stuff and all that, like that's bitch shit, dude. Like straight up, that was straight bitch shit. And then Antoine did not push back and be like, look, man, you did impregnate this woman because he's supposed to be Mr. Family Values.
Well,
He
I
didn't
mean,
say
he's supposed
anything
to be
about.
Mr. Family Values, and yet and still, when he said, "Man," and when I found out she was going to get a deletion, oh man, whew,
I was like,
I'm like,
cool. Like
whoa,
he like yeah, it
like
should have been like,
he,
wait, hold up.
and I'm sitting there like, and this guy, now mind you, this Daniels character, I've seen him do multiple panels where women are complaining about men not being accountable for their actions, black men. lacking when it comes to supporting their women. Black
Mm-hmm.
men don't do this, black men don't do that,
Mm-hmm.
and he sits there and
Mm-hmm.
lets these women run all over black men. He says absolutely nothing about it. Matter of fact, I've seen him do panels where his panelists are complaining about how he sits there and lets these black women just completely disgrace and run all over black women and talk about how they ain't this and talk about how they ain't that. And he does videos about all of the unprotected sex happening and the this and the
In these
that.
cities and the diseases. Yeah.
Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I do believe I've actually heard him do a video talking about how trifling it is for black people to use you know, doctor deletions as a form of birth
Mm-hmm.
control. I've
Mm-hmm.
actually
Mm-hmm.
heard him say that himself. So,
Yeah.
you know, to sit there and just to watch the very you know, oh, the sympathetic nature of it all, and oh yeah, well yeah, oh my god, oh, this is so terrible for you. um it was weird, and what's even weirder is that his audience isn't holding his feet to the fire about it, because his audience typically trashes people that have a story like that one.
If that was a regular non-celebrity, well, can I even say McGoofy is a celebrity? I don't know, but um,
Yeah, you can
for
call him a celebrity. You can call him a celebrity.
okay.
I found it funny, like even talking about the whole, oh, you know, I was making this record and I was making that record, but when I got to any time, that's when I knew this is my sound. That's when I knew
Mm-hmm.
I was this and
Mm-hmm.
I was that. And I instantly started laughing, because if anybody knows the history of that song, then they will know the controversial nature of the fact that part of the reason why it was nominated for a Grammy and it didn't win a Grammy was because he stole it from Michelle Cello.
Mm.
She has a song,
Wow.
"Here I Sit Outside Your Door. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
talk
Mm-hmm.
to me." And all he
Yeah.
did was
Yeah.
take 8 bars of her chorus and loop it. he took
Wow.
he took his, like, that was like his, you know, that was his first big, you know, crossover pop record, and he stole it
Yeah.
from Michelle Cello.
Well, let's
So
let's let's say it like this, because let's say he didn't steal it, right? Let's just say,
Michelle was pissed, that I do remember.
did she did she did
She
did, did she
was
file anything?
pissed. No,
Did she
she was instructed
she
not
said leave it
to. She
alone?
was given,
Okay.
yeah, they told her to let it go.
And that's why he
And
didn't. Okay.
yeah, and that's why he never went through anything. But
No, but you're right.
that was Michelle.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm listening. I remember that joint. I remember that joint
Yeah,
from her. That was a cold joint from her.
yeah,
Shout
it
out to
was a
her. She,
cold
she she's
joint.
always been cold.
It was a cold joint, but it never allowed her to go platinum. But it did get Goofy McKnight to platinum. You know, so just sitting there listening to him run down on black women and thinking about all, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So
Let,
people can
let's
say
let's
whatever
get
they
off.
want to say. No,
Let's
I
get
just
off of
wanted
him
to.
because I didn't
No,
want to
we
talk
can.
too much about him.
No, we can. Well, I wasn't talking about him. I'm just talking
No,
about
you
the nature of what's real and what's not, and how, you know, people don't really remember. You know, they don't remember what happened. They don't remember what it was like. You know, on some Michael Jackson, do you remember the time? They
do you
don't
remember the time?
remember.
They don't. And it's good
So
you brought a lot of it back, the context back up, because look, peep game. I see. This is where I'm at with the whole thing. For me, I saw the whole thing, and I said I was going to talk about. I said it ain't even worth talking about. I honestly think him going over there talking to Anton is going to be bad for him, because it's like, I mean, like I said, the family ish, that should stay off the internet. And again, that's like gossipy bitch shit. If you really ask me, but it is what it is. I really want to talk about the I guess the stuff surrounding the interview now. So the internet, or just media in general, people forget after 72 hours. I think that thing dropped past 72 hours. It's on
Yeah.
life support. It's on life support. That story is on life support. And first off, I mean, Anton had about a million, over a million subscribers. The video, it only got less than a little over 10% of his um, subscribers actually saw it, or maybe just people in general. Because if you have a million subscribers, you figure you will get numbers. Like I be seeing people
No,
get
but see,
numbers.
the clips is what got
The clips is what's
more
going,
views.
but it's still not like in the. Well, I ain't even saying in the millions. I'm just saying how I don't think people are too interested in that story per se, because I mean, yeah, let him get out there and say what he want to say his truth. But at the same time, it's like I don't think people really care. I don't think people care. But now, when you start mentioning the Joe Budden's podcast and stuff like that, it's gonna kick up in the algorithm, and it's gonna get that story is gonna be on life support because people are looking at oh wait, what did he say about Joe Budden, or what happened? So
And it makes people
apparently,
go back and look, and guess what?
exactly.
And guess what? When you see the nature of how that video is time stamped to death, that video has to have at least 20 timestamps. I mean, every this, every that, everything that he talked about. This in the music, the state
Hmm.
of R&B, the this and the this,
Hmm.
and the that and the
Hmm.
that, and my kids ain't shit, and the this and the this. Like everything is time stamped. But the one time stamp that I was very interested in seeing mm, was y'all had to forgive me. It's a lazy Sunday. Um,
It's all good.
so the one timestamp that I was very interested to see. I'm doing this on purpose because Antoine McDonaldson says that black
Hmm.
women shouldn't get on
Oh
camera
yeah, keep your
with
bonnets
the
off. Yeah.
bonnets on. So that this one's for you, kid. Um, but there's literally a timestamp that says that Joe Budden and Mark Lamont Hill are cowards. Like that's literally the label timestamp in the video. And when you see stuff like that, if you don't understand the predatory nature of conflict creating, not content creating, but conflict creating, you do stuff like that
Conflict.
to create engagement for the video to make sure that people come back to the video, come back to the video, come back to the video. And that's when I realized, oh, this video was PR. This is a PR campaign.
Yep. Yep.
Now, one of the things
Yep.
that really wasn't discussed was one of the things that was a very, very, very like hot topic um on social media a few weeks back, about a month or so back now. The
Hmm. Hmm.
video that he posted when he said that he won the lawsuit
Yeah.
against his ex-wife,
Yeah.
where he was sitting there looking like the big bad wolf waiting for the
With that
children,
cigar.
yeah, with the cigar, and then doing some video running and clicking his heels and running because he's so excited. Now, there was a timestamp, of course, in the video where it was addressed about suing his ex-wife, but like I don't understand how in God's name you call yourself an interviewer and you don't ask about that. That would be like me interviewing Demore and not asking about the origin of the AI video that they were passing around
Boom.
about her. As an interviewer, like if you're going to call yourself a great interviewer, then there's just certain things that you have to address. Why wasn't the lawsuit addressed? Why wasn't it addressed that he prematurely came online and pretty much lied to the public and said that he had
Yeah.
won in a default judgment when that had not come forward? Why didn't he ask about that creepy video? And more importantly, While you're sitting there talking about children and while you're sitting there talking about family, why didn't you ask him, why in God's name did you make that video and not only post that video when you didn't have confirmation that you had actually won? Sounds like, how is it hating? This isn't interview hating. If you're there
Sounds
to
like
get if you're there to get information out, then you're there to get information out. The question is why wasn't any questions asked about the premature celebration of a lawsuit that wasn't properly served?
no real talk. That's real. You're not hating. You're just stating.
But not only
If
that,
if I was interviewed,
it was posted on the birthday of your newly deceased son.
and that sounded like it was something to antagonize, and that's why I
Like
said the
that's
family shit.
you
It needs to stay
that was
offline.
posted. That was literally posted. You chose to post that on that day, to sit there and to call Joe Budden and Mark Lamont Hill cowards. But y'all
Well,
didn't talk
first off,
about that.
yeah. Well, that's what I was about to say too. He didn't really push back or give him anything like that would have been an easy one. Like you went on a few weeks back and said that you won an $8 million judgment, blah blah blah. But that's not the case. So he could have easily asked him that, and maybe he could have clarified. Like I said, there was a whole lot wrong
Well,
with that
no, if you're
interview.
going to bring him on to explain himself and to explain his actions, I think that would have been something very important to ask. And you wouldn't
Yeah,
have had to
yeah,
brace anybody. You know, I think people got upset with me because I didn't come aggressive at Demore, and I'm not going to. But I'm sitting there and
no,
I'm looking, and it's just like this entire interview is nothing but a PR stunt. That's how it looks to me. It looks like a PR stunt. It looks like, now that it's clear that you didn't win the lawsuit and that, the terms of what's happening with the lawsuit is looking kind of fraudulent. It's looking like
mm-hmm.
you needed to come and you needed to clean it up and you needed to do a campaign. So you hook up with this person who you say is your friend. That's funny. I don't ever really remember ever hearing Donaldson, Antoine Donaldson, talk about this artist before. I don't think I've ever heard him promoting any
Mr.
of his
Donaldson.
shows or any of
Nah,
that. I don't. I don't think I've ever heard
and
that before, but that's because they're real friends in real life. And let's just be clear. When you're real friends, you don't need to do an advertisement that you're real friends. And if you are real friends, it would actually stick closer to the fact that you'd be willing to come online to cat for your real friend more than
yeah,
anything. So,
yeah,
but when you start putting timestamps and calling out other content creators and saying that other content creators are cowards, that's you trying to create beef. That's you
yeah.
trying to create,
Stirring up the, just stirring up
exactly, to
the
make
drama, the
sure.
drama.
Now, wait a minute. There's a couple other content creators. Now, O'Shea Duke Jackson is talking about the interview, and Kempire is talking about the interview. And I'm starting to look and I'm starting to see. Now, people are arguing. Some people are saying that the interview changes everything. Some people are saying that the interview made it worse. They're trying to create a conversation around this. And the only
Yeah,
thing that does is bring value back to Anton Daniels' video. That's all that this does. This is promotion. And now you have Joe Budden and Mark Lamont Hill commenting on it, which, in my opinion, is kind of sus and it's kind of weird because where they sit in the podcasting world, they shouldn't even care. But then, considering that there was allegedly a lie told, and it was said that they denied or refused to do an interview with the goofster, And they're saying that never happened. That's not true. So, it's anyway, back to you. I just wanted to highlight a few things that I saw that looked a little strange to me.
No, 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 it's okay. Yeah, Mark Lamont Hill. Now, shout out to Mark Lamont Hill. I know back
You
day
shout him out.
Tariq Nasheed. Well, I say this because Tariq Nasheed called him Mark Lamoise Hill, and that was funny as hell to me back then. I was just like, okay, but no, I got to give him his credit and his props because number one, producing for Tavis Smiley and stuff like that. Mark Lamont Hill has come on a few times. I think one of the shows I was, I just, because I would answer phones, set up the whatever, whatever. And he's cool. I know they tried to play, Anton tried to play Mark Lamont Hill like he ain't this or that or whatever, and calling him a pseudo intellectual. I think somewhere around that's what he said.
That's funny coming
And
from
it's like,
somebody that wears a hat that says bag chasers on it, looking like a dipped in doo-doo koala bear. I don't understand. I don't
but yeah,
understand.
he can't call Mark Lamont Hill a
He's a
pseudo
pseudo
intellectual.
intellectual.
Yeah, Mark Lamont Hill is actually some like Travis ain't finna sit with no dummies. Just know that Travis don't work with dummies. That's just what it is.
Are you sure
So
about that?
Mark
Because I can
Lamont
think
Hill.
about somebody that was at that station
Oh, I got a couple
earlier
of
this
people, but
year.
that ain't. But Travis didn't sit with him. Travis didn't sit with him. There's a couple of people, but Travis didn't sit with him.
He
No, but
surely entertained it,
Well, he did, he
but
did.
that's
But
something
but but
different.
but yeah, Mark Lamont Hill, give him his credit. Like I said, Tariq clowned him back in the day, but it's funny because Joe Budden was like, oh, here we go, we got Dark Lamont Hill. So I guess that's like the equivalent of is Wayne Brady gonna have to smack a bitch because Mark Lamont Hill gave he didn't even he really went in on Mr. McGoofy, but he didn't really he said I don't even know this guy. He called him Twan. That was when he said Antoine. He called him Antoine. That shit was funny. Antoine Donaldson. I was just like, so they responded, and it was comedy to me. It's funny to me, but I look at it
Yeah,
like,
but
yo,
it's
is a
also
play
a
behind all this.
it's also a look though. It's also a look because
Yeah,
now
exactly. It's a
it
play.
gives people a reason to go back and look at that video. Now, what I also found interesting is that Mr. Antoine Donaldson had the time in all of his greatness and all of his benevolence now that he has a million subscriber platform. Um, what I found very interesting in that was he was literally running through these YouTube streets looking for anyone talking about his video that dropped the link so that he could go and promote it. That
Oh
queen,
yeah.
that queen Shabaya Darling person
Mm-hmm.
who I told you
Mm-hmm.
I had never really known or heard anything about. And then the one day I bumped into her content when my algorithm was changing, found out she teaches those interesting YouTube courses on
Mm-hmm. Them
how to
classes.
troll how to troll undetected. Really interesting. But apparently they know each other and they're all kinds of friends. He seems to be friends with a lot of people, and oh well, we were just talking about your interview, and well, do you mind if I review it, and well, you haven't listened to everything, and he came over there caping and fighting for another man. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, since when do you run around to lesser platforms doing doing you doing a lot of PR? So my question is how much did
It,
they pay him? Like that's what I want to
that's
know.
what
I
I.
want to know allegedly how much money did he get paid to do this social media campaign here on YouTube? And the timestamps are all set up for content creators to just be able to go and snatch clips
To index. It was
and
for
snatch
indexing.
clips. It absolutely, absolutely. This video was done as a PR campaign to promote what I do not know. But what I do know is we could use 20 more likes.
Oh well, we can. No, yeah, it definitely was a play. All the time when you're dealing with something, it's always a freaking play. Look, Joe Budden. Again, even shout out to Joe Budden. I know I talk shit about Joe Budden, but shout out to him. But he be on
Shout out, all right.
some funny stuff too.
You shout
Right,
out,
shout him
all
out.
right.
He be on some funny stuff. I remember back day. This is the hip hop days of Joe Budden when
You
he
mean Joe Budden? I
had a
call him
beef.
Joe Butt Naked.
Joe Budden.
I'm still trying to figure out
Damn.
how like everybody like eased past that. Him being ass naked in the hallway, banging on doors in the middle
People,
of the night, looking like
I'm
Philip
sure. I'm
Morgan
sure
till
that
they
video
wrist
was.
off.
I'm sure that video was somewhere floating around the internet somewhere. You go to one of the little websites, weirdo sites. I don't know,
I'm just
but
curious.
yeah. Look, Joe Budden. I don't put nothing past
He got
him
arrested
in these
earlier this year
plays.
too. He got arrested earlier this year too and had to go to court and
Yeah,
all of a sudden it was
yeah.
all good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, maybe he got. I don't know. They got that. Not I ain't gonna say a witness protection or snitch. I ain't saying like that. But anyway, I don't put nothing past him when it comes to certain plays too, because uh he back day during the rap days. I remember all of a sudden he was beefing with Saigon. For those who don't remember Saigon, if y'all remember that show, what was that show on HBO? The Entourage. I think Saigon was actually on that show. But Saigon's a New York rapper, dope MC, dope ass MC. He had that one joint, and they were beefing, and I'm like, where'd this beef come from? And it was kind of like come to find out behind the scenes, they manufactured that. They made that beef up. Like it was like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, you just gonna beef with me, and it was like, I mean, okay, that's when I really was like, okay, this this
they
this
do
this
that
this
here
rap
on
shit is like
YouTube.
wrestling.
They do that
Oh
here
yeah, they
on
do that. They,
YouTube.
they do that a lot on exactly. But that disappointed me because I was like, okay, this rap stuff is like WWE.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't put nothing past anybody now on these YouTube streets, and I think that whole thing was a play to like you say, it was PR. It was
Yeah.
PR.
It looks like PR to
Are
me.
you
I'm
there?
here. You would taped
Okay.
out for a second. I mean, it looks like PR to me. And the thing is don't get me wrong. People are inclined to believe whatever they want to believe. And they can say whatever they want to say. They can go wherever they want to go. They can sit with whoever they want to sit with. What I find interesting is that for all of this time, all of this stuff has been going on. You weren't interested in doing that interview until you got popped over that lawsuit.
Yep.
Like that's the thing that's
Yep.
interesting. You didn't come online to do the interview when you first filed the lawsuit. You didn't come online to stand up for yourself in any way, shape, or form. You didn't come online to do any of those things. Not until after you get popped over this lawsuit. And once again, I find it interesting because people still aren't talking about the fact that that $8.8 million judgment, it's not real.
Right.
It's not real.
I mean, the service wasn't legit.
The service
There's
wasn't
a whole lot
legit.
of funny stuff that was.
And whoever signed for it forged the signature.
Yeah.
And that was passed on to the court like it was real. Like there's something very, very, very strange there.
We'll see. I'm gonna do
I
my
just find it,
investigation because you
I
are.
just find it interesting that nobody seems to, but it's always that way. Nobody wants to talk about the truth. They only want to talk about the salacious stuff. And now, rather than anyone talking about any of that, what people are going to be talking about is them going back and forth with Joe Budden's podcast. And the truth is, it's like this shouldn't even be on their radar. Shouldn't even be on their
Nah,
radar.
they punching down. They're punching down when it comes to the what do you say, conflict creation,
Yeah, this is definitely
content creation,
hmm
conflict creation. They're punching down because he's nowhere, like he's not even hip hop. Like Joe Budden's hip hop. Anton and them are not hip hop, or even But now you talk about the gossip. You get into the gossip and the salaciousness, then it's like, okay,
Well, I
throw
mean,
him in the mix.
or
So it
maybe they just needed something else. I don't know. Like there's a lot of fake stuff going on the internet. Watching content creators embarrass themselves by trying to defend that fake story about Ja Rule. It's like it's bad when you got people inventing these fake stories and these weirdo conflicts just to keep
well,
an
they were
engagement up.
they were in they were anticipating a lot. I guess a lot of these conflict creators were anticipating a lot more stuff to be going on towards the end of the year, because I realized the clicks and views and the attention that the internet gives and these YouTubers put out there, they get money. So their check for this month and next month and the following month will be crazy, because a lot of people are on vacation, so they're gonna be looking at a lot more of this. But the celebrities are laying low. I just noticed. That's what I'm paying attention to. I noticed an economist told me, he said, like, when the price of diesel is higher than the regular price of gas, it's a problem. And that's what's going on right now. And then I told you about Peter Thiel selling those Nvidia stocks and stuff like that, and the AI and all that, and the bubble that might bust, and then the real estate. And these entertainers are not getting it like how they used to. Uh, Proswell, that whole little situation. It's a lot
Why
of stuff
is
that's about to
nobody
go
really
down.
talking about? There's nobody talking about that. It's and I'm telling y'all, I know it in my gut. I feel it at the pit of my stomach. There is something very terrible that is about to happen to the industry. It's about to crash. Something is about to crash. This is not going to be a Merry Christmas. This is not going to be a pleasant anything. I got that feeling. Like it's just wild. Beyonce come off the road and now everybody's back on the road again. But when Beyonce's on the road, ain't nobody on the
Nobody
road.
does nothing. Yeah, I saw
You
Janet
know,
Jackson. We're now seeing clips of the Brandy Monica. It's wild. It's wild. They all got to
Lil
get their little
Wayne.
money now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's back on the road. Everybody's back on the road. You know, it's when you look at everything that's happened this year, the Diddy trial was the Diddy trial and all of that stuff was whatever it was. But what it really did do was it worked. It made the entertainment industry look bad, and it made people feel guilty about investing their time and their money into these things, which of course affects the economy, which is probably what makes me enemy number one on so many different levels. But now we got the David situation. And I just find it funny. You know, this David situation is extremely troubling. It's extremely troubling, and even the way it's being handled, it's extremely troubling. I mean, you can ask me what do I think is about to happen, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, and
Let
she's
me
not Miss Cleo.
let me explain.
Call call
No,
him now.
no, let me explain. You have content creators like SDW, you have content creators like S Monroe, you have content creators who for years I got some content creator that I've never even heard of before over on Instagram, literally stealing my
Yeah,
monologues from my
yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
illegally stealing and then
yeah.
putting music behind it and putting it up on Instagram. I don't think people really understand. For the past 5 years, I have been the greatest source for industry exposure and information for mostly everybody online. I have, whether they want to give me the credit or not. It's funny. because Trasha K had her minions trying to pump me for information and sitting on my Instagram and hovering over my Instagram looking for stories and looking for content so they could run with it and spin it and do all of this stuff. And then she break the story and pretend like it didn't come from me. See, that's why she's putting out lying ass stories about Ja Rule.
And it's funny.
That's why
She
she's
went out.
getting up
She
in the middle of the night. In the
and she
middle of
talk
the
about
night.
she a millionaire. Oh damn. Well, you should be able to pay Cardi her money, right? Anyway,
Like that's what's been
yeah,
going on.
yeah. I mean, it's a lot of funny stuff going on.
That's what's been going
Overall.
on. They've been stealing information from me, using information, pumping me for information so they can run with stories. And see, that's why they're mad at me. And that's why they come after our platforms and they attack our platforms. They attack our views. They encroach people in our memberships to report our videos, to try to find ways to keep us out of the main algorithm and do all of that because we're not feeding them anymore. See? See, once upon a time, y'all could come to me and get the real from me. And guess what? These trolls sat here and they got real fat and happy off of it, and then sat there and played in my life, putting phony cases in my life, putting phony people in my life, creating lies in my life while trying to pump me for information so that they can make money off of it. That's why Trashy K has to keep putting up lion ass video after lion ass video after lion ass video because the truth is, who are her sources? Don't
Hmm.
nobody trust her. Everybody knows how she play. Everybody knows what a big mouth she is. Nobody's interested in being around her because they know how desperate she is for cash and that she's going to use them for clicks and views. Who are her
Right.
sources?
Right.
She had a team at the concert. So you woke up in the middle of the night and you heard the information wrong. They told you they was at the Brandy Monica concert, but you heard Say Less. How does that explain all the other content creators that ran with your bad information who gave like like in-depth details about the beatdown that Ja Rule supposedly like that's the funny thing about it. And see that's why I'm grateful that Ticket TV went so far trying to sell that story and talking about all of the many details in Bryant Park and the fire department and EMS showed up and contusions and concussions and broken skin and all of this and all of that.
Yeah, he put the 10 on the two, and then Ja
Huh?
Rule popped up and was like, "Not a scratch on me."
Was there something that happened? Yeah, something happened, but it wasn't all what y'all saying it is. Y'all straight lying to these people. It's crazy because Ticket TV literally specifically said that he had to go to the hospital for observation to make sure that he would be okay after his concussions. And then he was stupid enough to go back and say, Tasha K said it's really bad.
What kills me is that it was either in a street way or alleyway. Which one? Either street or alley. Like, and when he got into the
Like
description side, I was just like, "Wait, which one is it?"
he went
He was
heavy.
going north. He was going north and south. He was going east and west. Which one was it?
There was pepper spray involved. Ja Rule didn't look like nobody hit him with no pepper spray.
Mm-mm.
But what we do know is that the origin of that story started with Tasha K. And it was funny because somebody tried to say that she's the algorithm or whatever the case may be. Well, then that's a shame if she is, because that means that she was so desperate to trigger the algorithm and to get people talking about her and to using her as a source that she actually got up. She heard about something and then invented a whole story and then pushed it out to all of her minions to spread it all over online. And there was
Hmm.
another content creator that was sitting there trying to defend her, talking about, oh, she set him straight. Well, explain this to me. How do you set that straight? She lied. You can't set a lie straight. It's called that would be called backtracking, would it not?
Yeah, a lie is
That
a
would be
lie. You
called
put it out there.
backtracking. And the truth is, that restaurant should have a very, very, very big problem with Tasha K and every other content creator that use their name in that fake story, because it makes that restaurant sound like it's not safe to go to. That could affect their dollar.
Yeah, it's bad for business. Just like I
Extremely
think was
bad for
it Candy's
business.
Candy's there was an incident that happened where somebody got unalived from Candy's family at a restaurant in
Mhm.
Atlanta. Remember that? And
Yeah.
that place suffered. And she didn't want to talk about it. She don't really talk about it like that, but I understand. It's like, yeah, you people realize, oh, that's a ratchet spot. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. People getting jumped outside. Oh, I'm cool.
And apparently, somebody from the New York Jets also just got assaulted there not long before that. So you took
Mm.
another bad story and threw it on that restaurant. That restaurant should come after you. And every other content creator that put that false story out there. The question is how many of the content creators that put that video up are going to take it down and do a retraction because it's a
Now
lie.
I don't think any of them will, because what they
And
say, if well, what it is what it's always in the media. If it bleeds, it leads. So coming out, breaking news: this dude got beat up and he's all bloody and blah. It's like, oh my god, yeah.
it's to trigger the algorithm, and it's to create engagement. When you see people like Trasha K and her team
Hmm.
pushing out a bunch of fake information, that's because they're trying to trigger the algorithm. I don't know if y'all remember this time last year what her big lion ass story was. Maybe we should I do a recap?
You should, you should,
Messy
you definitely
Merlot,
should.
I think was the name of the book, with Chelsea. There was supposed to be this huge SEX scandal that
Hmm.
Storm Monroe was supposed to be exposing right before the holidays. And and Chelsea wrote a book about a
Right,
Trash K wanting to be
right.
intimately involved with her and her relationship with the husband Shaq. And it was supposed to be this big thing. And they were supposed to be having this big beef. And Chelsea Alana comes back to YouTube and and get my book and get it was all a money grab for the holidays.
It was a big dud,
Does
and I remember
nobody
that
does
Chelsea
nobody
chick
remember
calling
that?
my phone.
Yeah.
I just remember that, and I'm like, if you don't get I don't know you, don't ever call my phone. Number one, people are, I'm gonna tell y'all this. People are weird. These gossipers and all, you're weird. You're weird. And then yeah, you'll do anything for money. You are you're whores for I mean, obviously, I mean they'll
YouTube.
just do anything for money for all the content creating sites or whatever. Um, Yeah, yeah, but no, you definitely should do a recap because they were trying to run with that, and I remember it was a few little stories that came out, and then it was just it was
They were
done. It
trying
was
to
done.
flood the algorithm with it. They had that that goofy Jovi person talking about it. Everybody in the black tea sector was supposed to be in the Jaguar rights sector, which is no longer exists. The Jaguar rights sector is officially dead.
It's dead.
Um, there was no real Krishan or anything because wasn't nothing popping because Blueface was still in jail. They
Uh
literally
huh.
invented this fake affair and sexual, all of this stuff to sell a fake AI book.
It's funny. It reminds me of a psyop because
That's what
look,
they did last year.
it reminds me of a psyop. How many of y'all can? I mean, if y'all know what a psyop is, where my thing is like, well, how long do they it takes them to construct this? Like, do they come in hours, weeks? I don't get it, but I definitely know it takes time to, like you get your book. I'm gonna do a book. We're gonna put this behind it, the scandal behind it, blah blah. But a
AI
psyop,
books
like
are
if you pay
fast.
attention,
AI books are fast to write. And if you're just sitting there making up a bunch of lies and making up a bunch of stories, all you have
yeah.
to
I
do
mean,
is spit it into the search engine, and then the search engine does the rest of the work. So, um,
but in all
but
honesty, real authorship, you got to use like a content editor. It's a lot. Like it's you can't. I get it now because you get these weirdos who will just spit out an AI song, AI video, AI book with the quickness. But what I just want to say psyop because it's like they put this stuff out there. Obviously, it's for money, but it's get your attention here today, gone tomorrow. Was that book going to ever serve anybody in life or no? It's almost like the Superhead book or something. You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's something to go. Oh, it's a scandal. Let me go get it. It'll make a little bit of money, just like with the situation with Cat Williams' brother, who he did. His people did reach out to us, and we just said, no, we're not going to run with it. But she ran with it, and then guess what? I don't know how long it was out there, but it was she
it
made the
wasn't
little
out
money or
there very
whatever.
long because
Made the money and was
within
out.
no, within 10 days, she was sitting there talking about she felt like she got played because Cat Williams allegedly reached out to her, which was probably a lawyer that reached out to her. And it's just so funny because she stood up there, I ain't scared of no lawyers, and y'all threatening to sue, and y'all threatening to sue. I get billions of views every day. Well, then you get billions of views every day? You a multimillionaire? That's funny because Armand was very clear about the bunk beds that you sleep on in that two-bedroom condo in Miami. So I'm just trying to figure out, was Armand lying or were you lying?
Mm.
It's funny because you've been going out of your way. I mean, I know that you getting paid sponsorship from this bankruptcy attorney because you keep trying to find every which way to file for bankruptcy so you ain't got to kick out any of the money on that $4 million judgment. But it's funny because when it comes time to have to pay for that judgment for lying on Cardi B and lying on her child, you ain't got no money. You
She,
ain't
she
got
she
it.
said,
You broke.
remember last year you did that Tasha K stop lying bitch. She was like, I'm coming out with something. Her label is I ain't got it records
Yeah, I ain't got it. So which one is it?
or
What I
no.
find funny is that people listen to this goofy ass whole lie and they believe her. I guess y'all just like being lied to. Or you're liars yourself. Because the only way you could listen to that crap, the only way you could get behind that, knowing her propensity for lying, is if you're a liar too.
Mm.
Like it's just that simple. Like I don't, it's so funny. Tasha K was one of the first people to come out online and label me a liar, and then invested in building up a team of content creators to label me a liar, and people believe him.
You know what I did? I did a research. So what you just said, and it's funny you said that. I looked up on the contrary, Orlando Brown. So if
Oh,
you look at Orlando Brown and go online and let's just say look up Orlando Brown lies or lied or I mean you just see the real life clips and stuff like that and whatever. But they're not talking about him being a liar or whatever. But of course you got people invested in defaming you, and you got so many content creators, conflict creators that will say, "Oh yeah, you a liar," but they don't have no receipts. They just say, "Oh yeah, you're a liar." What did she lie about? And like as people come to mind, I'm like, okay, what did she lie about? What did you lie about?
you want to know what else I find interesting though? For the people that I have levied real claims at about their misdeeds and the things that they have done in this world, They don't ever show any facts. All they say is she's lying. That's not true. It was interesting. I said what I had to say about what happened between me and Lonnie Lynn all of those years ago back in 1999 in New York. I spoke about that and how it made it impossible for me to ever really trust being around him ever again, even though I kept up the fraud in public because my manager asked me to, because that's what they do in this business. It doesn't matter how bad you are affronted, there are always going to be people that are going to encourage you to lie about it, pretend like it never happened, so you can go on with your career, so everything can move forward. You know, the question is this, and this is what I don't understand. What people do you expect to willingly admit to being barbarians? What people? What do you expect? If a survivor or a victim comes forward, or someone who's been hurt by someone, do you honestly think these people are going to say, yeah, I did that?
No, they're not gonna fess up.
Do you really think
No.
that? What would happen to Common's career if he ever admitted what he did to me? What would
Hmm.
happen in his career if he admitted, that he was capable of taking his private parts and trying to insert it into somebody's mouth while they're asleep? What do you think that would do to his career? Do you what makes you think he would admit it? Like, there's very few
He'd
Aaron
be out
Halls
there.
out here in this world. Look at Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall sat down with Vlad and he admitted a whole bunch of terrible things that he did. And they was just laughing and whoopty whoopty woo. And then what did Vlad do a few years later? He turned around and got the very woman who he was talking about being a barbarian with and let her give the rest of the details. Meanwhile, Aaron Hall has been in hiding since Diddy got arrested and ain't nobody heard hide nor
Hmm.
hair from him.
You would if he was to admit that, he would be like Andy Dick. I don't know if you guys remember the comedian Andy Dick.
I
God, it was
do.
a place where I was at, and I saw him, and we were working. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he was just on Hollywood Boulevard, like just looking crazy, like look like sitting down by a dumpster. It was crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, he pretty much got ostracized out the game. I don't think nobody's gonna work with him ever,
Oh, if I
because of
if
all the
he
stuff
could
that
use 50 more likes, y'all stop playing. No, but this is the
Yeah,
thing that trips me out. What makes you think that these people, and it's funny, especially when you talk about people that are actors, award-winning
yeah,
actors.
yeah.
Like, y'all do understand what an award-winning actor is essentially is a liar.
When you're acting, you're lying.
You're
You're
lying.
pretending.
Suspension of disbelief. You have to pretend like you believe everything that you're saying to be real and true. That's what acting is. It's lying. You're not that person. You're not that role. Now, of course, when you have somebody that's acting and doing a biography of someone else's life, that's one thing. But the rest of this stuff is pure fiction.
Hmm.
It's pure fiction. So
Hmm.
what you're talking about are people who are capable of telling bold-faced lies. What makes you think they're going to tell the truth?
Right.
Like,
When they got to
it's
protect their
everybody.
image.
No, it's
Well, no, I was
everybody
gonna
who
say
did it. Diddy is the perfect example. Even
they
after
got to
he
protect.
paid Cassie, in 24 hours, if that wasn't enough of an admission of guilt, if that wasn't enough, he still said that she was lying even after he paid. He still said that everything that she said about him was not true. He still
Mm-hmm.
said that she was making it all up. None of that stuff ever happened. None of this. I never did this. I never hit her. I never hurt her. I never did
Mm-hmm.
this. I paid her because
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure she was gonna be okay. Whoopty whoopty woo, like he was being benevolent. And guess what? The whole world was going along with that farce until May 17th, 2024, when that video hit CNN of us watching exactly how monstrous he was. And that was in a hotel. You want to know what else is funny? Ray J. Little Diddy Do Wop Bop Lieutenant. Now, he's been crashing out live online lately with this so called new girlfriend of his that he keeps disrespecting online and making her
Mm-hmm.
cry
Mm-hmm.
and humiliating her in front of the chat audience and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
How does nobody not see the similarities between the way he's treating that girl and the way Diddy used to treat Cassie? If you go back and you look, there was a video of Cassie balled up under a cover, under a comforter on the floor one day, and Diddy was sitting there humiliating her, embarrassing her live online, talking about how weird she was and how weak she was. Does anybody not remember that? Does anybody not remember that? The way he used to humiliate her live online. Ray J doing the same thing to this girl right now. Same thing. I'm not understanding what more do y'all need to see? Or that video that we seen about Lemmy
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
Zeus Network.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, when you think about the fact that Lemmy was raised up in religion, his parents were in Christian television programming, and he took everything that he learned from his parents to go straight demon time.
Literally.
Like, does anybody know who Zeus is? What he was the god of? Like, to name your network after one of the most horrific Greek gods of destruction. Like, Zeus was a god of sacrifice. They used to have to make human sacrifices to Zeus so that he wouldn't bring calamity to them. That's how they kept calamity from coming to them. They would offer up human sacrifice to appease Zeus.
Yep. Yep.
Why in God's name would you name your network? Yes, yes, Ray J was around Wendy Williams right before she fell apart. And now that we know it's not dementia because she's finally been properly diagnosed, the question is, what was Ray J giving her, allegedly?
The dopecha, not dementia. The
What was he giving
Baracha.
her? What was he giving her? Because apparently, allegedly, whatever he gave her, it was doozy enough to make
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it look like she had dementia. And is nobody paying attention to the fact that he was hanging around Whitney Houston right before she passed away? Like, I just find it funny that people keep letting these people operate, which is wild because Ray J is doing content on Zeus.
He said last year. He said he got a bag for you, Jag. He's like, I got a bag for you.
Yeah, a bag of dope.
It wasn't a bag of money, that's for sure.
Well,
Wow.
it couldn't be
We
a
we
bag
may
of
need to
money. It
we
couldn't
may
be a
need to
bag of
just do
money
it.
because
No, no, no.
When Zeus Network tried to approach me earlier this year, April of this year, actually, to
Mm-hmm.
do content, right? They wanted to give me my own show. They wanted to give me my own podcast, Zeus Network. I actually had a meeting, a phone conference with them. And it was very interesting how that went. Because
They sure didn't have a bag.
after I ran down the analytics and after I ran down everything that I know my name would fetch, especially within their algorithm and what it would do, I told them how much money they were going to make, and I knew how much money they were going to make off of it. And I gave them a very, very, very fair price for 4 episodes, including the pilot. 4 episodes. I kept it real simple. I wanted to test and see what they would be willing to do to get me over there. I didn't tell them millions. I said $75,000 for 4 episodes, and we'll see if we continue moving on from there. I even told them I didn't want ownership of the content at all. I told them they could keep it. $75,000. They get 4 episodes from me, and that's that. They get to keep everything. They get to own everything. Do whatever they want to do with it. It's theirs. It was funny because then they wanted to negotiate with me. And the negotiation was, well, is there any give on that number? Can you come down on that number at all? And I said, yep, I'll drop 15,000 if you can have that money to me by Tuesday. They have 5 days. They have a weekend day,
Like I
a
said,
weekend
and
day.
even that number,
Hmm?
even that number that
It was a steal.
you in comparison to what you're really worth and what they could have even fitted off of it was minuscule. Like that's nothing.
It's nothing.
You literally could have asked for 1 million
1.5
simply
million. I
because
should have asked for
yeah,
1.5
easily
million for 10 episodes.
you could have
Period.
you could have easily yeah you could have easily asked for that easily and they could have a smart individual would have taken that because they would have made so much. We
And
already
guess
know their
what?
subscriber count, their viewership.
And guess what?
People,
They flaked. And I'm going to tell you why they flaked. Because I know why they flaked. But we'll say allegedly. The objective was to corner me and to get me on set where they had control of things, to get me on camera, to create some kind of circumstance, which I have no doubt in my life would have either led up to me being arrested for something that I didn't do and put in jail, or possibly even me losing my life. I have no doubt in my mind. I'd have made quite the sacrifice for their Zeus.
mm,
Quite the sacrifice. And it's funny because all of this was set up and scheduled right before Diddy's trial started. Hmm, isn't that interesting? And it's wild because I spoke about it on a real life interview. And then I got word that they didn't want me mentioning it to anybody. Why not? Y'all like viral news. Why not? Why would you want that to be secret? Let me suppose that what Zeus supposed to be worth billion. Isn't he supposed to be worth a billion?
something like that. Well, I don't know how much they're charging now, but their subscribers and how what it is that they got. Yeah, I mean, it's probably somewhere up there.
Oh, your phone is acting crazy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mine, or are they talking about
No,
theirs?
one of the subscribers, one of the members here. And salute to Auntie Leah. I hope you had a good trip and I hope everything went well. I I'm telling y'all right now, y'all have no idea what the industry is willing to do to protect the industry. Y'all have no idea. So yeah, more gaslighting content. I guess we have to look forward to. Y'all better prepare yourself because they're gonna be coming up with all kinds of stuff to keep y'all on the app and to try to make something go viral. They really are.
They're
As I
trying.
sit here, as
Eh,
I sit here in my bonnet,
yeah, Antoine Donaldson says you should not be black women. You should not be wearing. Stop wearing your bonnets and your pajamas because you and your pajamas and your bonnet, huh?
I'm definitely in a sundress. Maybe I should get some sun.
Hmm.
That's funny because wasn't nobody talking crazy about David wearing a bonnet. Oh, thank you, Janine, for contributing to the channel. Appreciate you. I don't know. It is what it is, but well, I done said all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, appreciate it. Actually, got to hit the road, and you know, I will have to. Maybe we'll do a deeper dive on that Zeus stuff. But I found all that interesting, especially with the new information that I found. I done already been heard stuff about Natalie Nunn. I forgot some of my folks was already not working with her, but just the people you just know certain people to just stay away from. I hate to say it like that, but yeah, that whole little situation, man, is wild. Um, Other than that, that's it. Um, we'll get back. You going live in a few, Jag, or what's the situation? What you got going?
I don't know. We'll see. Keep your notifications on. I'll say that.
All right, that's what's up. All right, y'all. My phone is about to blow up, but I appreciate everybody here. The top of the top. Oh, appreciate you, Grace, uh, Guiding.
Getting
Appreciate that. Oh, and someone else dropped something too. My bad. I'm not even shouting. That was
Janine.
Jen Janine. Oh yeah, yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. So obviously y'all get a shout out, and for whatever reason, yeah, J- J- Janae is number one, Grace is number two, Mickey number three. We got Lauren Speaks four, Micaiah Sanders five, Yvonne six, Barbara J seven. Barbara J, I got to check to see if the Canada Post Office is still functioning. I'll let you know. Patricia Blair eight, Mary nine, Cole 10, and Auntie Leah's up under there, Carla as well. So yeah, appreciate y'all. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.